Assalamu alaikum, Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Shibri Islam, Honorable Chairman, Bangladesh Secretaries Commission, and also my direct teacher, and today's present special guest, Dr. Sheikh Samsuddin sir, Honorable Commissioner, Bangladesh Secretaries Commission, and another special guest, Dr. Mizanur Rahman, Honorable Commissioner, ICSB, as well as Council Member of BSEC and also the Council Member of ICSB, and obviously the Mr. President ICSB, and dignitaries, respected guests, as well as learned fellow and associate member of Institute. It's my very much a great pleasure and honor to be present before you. That today actually I assigned for one standard, then due to absence of another speaker, I have to continue the two standard, that is Bangladesh Secretary Standard 2 on journal meeting, and number 6, that is resolution by circulation. Since in the standard, there are different parts, as you know, and in the first preamble standard, which has already been mentioned by the first learned speaker, Mr. Nur Alam, that's why I'm not giving the details on this. Actually, and most of the audience today here, you are the practitioner. Day-to-day affairs, you are practicing the standard, which is actually regarding with the journal meeting. And as you know that the circular standards are a set guideline or rules or practices, which is a day-to-day affairs, which is required in every aspect of your activities or our activities. And it actually one sort of looks like a manual. Some of the items are written in our statutory books like Companies Act, some are the securities laws, and the remaining thing which needed explanatory notes are given in the circular standard. This is very much prominent and very effective for use. And in this standard, there is actually 13 points, and already our presidents has mentioned that due to time constraint of our chief guest, I have to be very brief, similar to our previous session presenters. First of all, is the convening of meeting. As you know, in case of journal meeting, there should have a notice, and due to change in the Companies Act, it is written here in the 14 days notice, but due to changes in Companies Act, it has to be 21 days now. And notice has to be sent to every recipient, eligible recipient, that is director, auditor, the charter secretaries in practice, and also all the members of the company who has shares on the record date or book closure date in case of paper share. And there should have a specific date, time, day regarding the AGM in the notice. And frequency of the meeting, as you know, in case of journal meeting, there is in case of annual journal meeting, it has to be held once in a year. That is, each and every Gregorian calendar, there should have one AGM. And in case of in any emergency, there might have necessary to hold an extraordinary journal meeting. And there is a statutory requirement for a statutory journal meeting, which has to be held within 1 month from the commencement of business, and or not less than 6 months. And quorum, as there is regarding the quorum, there should have a public meeting. There should have a 5 person has to be present in the annual general meeting. And entitlements for attending the meeting: directors, chairman of the audit committee, auditor, charter secretary in practice, and the lastly scrutinizer. They can be attended in the AGM, including all the members, entitled members. Appointment: chairman shall take the chair in general meeting. If he cannot be attended within the first 20 minutes of the starting of the meeting, then among the directors, they can select one chairman to conduct this session. And if director is unable to select the chairman among themselves, then the members present among them can also select the chairman. And voting to take the decision, since this is the highest authority for a company, a limited company, so there need to take some decision, especially the fourth decision. To pass the decision, there should have a voting. Voting can be raised by raised hand, or it can have a demand for poll. And similar to our previous session, that if there is equal voting, then chairman has the authority for giving a casting vote, that is deciding the vote. And if any member cannot in person present in the AGM, he can assign the proxies. Proxy need not to be a member. Any other person who is properly authorized and signed, stamped, and properly filled a form of proxy can attend in the AGM. And blank and incomplete proxies should not be entertained in case of attending proxies, and revocation of proxies can be revoked. And there are some other things that withdrawal or rescinding of modification of resolution. If any material or price sensitive information which can be impact the price of any listed equity securities, then this sorts of decision should not be rescinded arbitrarily. And there should have a requirement to read out the auditor's report as well as the compliance certificate report in the AGM. Adjournment meeting can be adjourned due to lack of quorum. The chairman may attend any due to any dispute, and in the event of disorder beyond the control of any person. Minutes since it has been discussed, so I will not give detail due to time constraint. And distribution of gift is totally prohibited. Especially there was very chaos in handling the annual general meeting. We are very much grateful to Bangladesh FCS Commission since they have given a direction so that no sorts of gift can be distributed in the AGM. And disclosure in the annual report, should be a fullest possible disclosure, and in terms of Companies Act as well as the Corporate Governance Code and other sector standard has also given some standards which need to be disclosed in the annual report as well as the post annual general meeting disclosure as well. And this standard actually comes effect from September 18, 2012. That was the approval date of the ICSB Council, which is coming into effect from immediate effect. But our predecessor already mentioned that in the case of Corporate Governance Code in 2018, it was attested by the Bangladesh FCS Commission. And there is today's topic is not only regarding the Bangladesh FCS Secretarial standard, as well as it is also linked with the corporate governance. And we know the corporate governance is nothing but a set of rules which is actually implemented in a company to give a good governance for a company. And especially the US SSE, due to Sarbanes-Oxley Act, it is firstly promulgated, and there is a OECD who have in 2020, they have already also updated their principle regarding corporate governance, and every element of the corporate governance is actually be helpful if we follow the secretarial standard properly, then the corporate governance will be automatically ensured, because most of the governance related with the board of directors, independent directors, and general meetings, and lots of things which have already been covered in our standards. That's why for having or ensuring proper good governance and record keeping and any other material information disclosure, so we have it will be very much helpful for all the companies, especially the listed companies, to implement the Bangladesh Secretarial Standard to ensure the good governance. Because in very recent year, OECD has introduced the institutional investor stock market and other intermediaries in their corporate governance pillars. That is actually the 6 pillars right now. Earlier it was 5. And I have already said this thing. And as you know that there is in our corporate governance code, especially it has written the board size, independent director's report, key executive responsibilities, and different committee rules. So everything is governed and maintained by a company secretary. So to ensure the proper implementation of corporate governance code, we have to follow our Bangladesh Secretarial Standard, and it has to be implemented in every sphere to have a better corporate governance. And with the permission of the chair, this is a little bit deviation from the secretarial standard. There is a secretarial audit need. And in the very neighboring country, the India, which has mentioned that in the year 2013, India has promulgated a very vast and robust Companies Act. And in their Companies Act, there is, for every listed company, it is mandatory to have a secretarial audit. So in case of our Bangladesh, this sorts of audit should be implemented very soon to have a very promising and good governance and compliances. In addition to listed companies, any public limited company and private limited company who have the paid up capital more than Indian rupee 50 crore, as well as 250 crore loan and borrowing from other financial institution 100 crore, and turnover of 250 crore or above, they have to have secretarial audit. So it's a very good scope for the ICSB as well as for the economy as overall. So this should be have benefits of secretarial audit. Actually, it's give a law-abiding situation for the company, and it is effective tools to generate confidence among the creditors, shareholders, promoters, investors, and as well as other stakeholders. And especially in case of secretarial audit, there is a lots of vast area, and most of the cases, majority emphasis given to the compliance, securities laws compliance. That's why if we can introduce the secretarial audit, it will reduce the burden of the regulator as well, because they will reduce these sorts of professional certification will give about the ensurement of the compliance of securities laws as well. So this is actually the list as per the MR3. In case of Indian securities laws, most of the securities rules are covered by under the tour of secretarial audit. So in our cases, Bangladesh Securities Commission may be kind enough to firstly, in first phase, to allow the secretarial audit in the listed company for better governance and improve the governance culture of the listed company. And another topic, in India, under section 203, appointment of key management personnel, company secretary is defined as the key management personnel, and it's mandatory for listed company, unlisted public company who have 10 crore, and private company which have also paid up capital 10 or more crore paid up capital. So for that companies, they have to have appoint a company secretary. And in case of India, there is a definition of company secretary which defined that the member of the ICSI, that means Indian Chartered Secretaries Institute, the person who is member of the ICSI can only be the company secretary. So we also demand that the member of the ICSB should be also only the company secretary in case of our also. So that's all about the standard of BSS 2. I will go for standard for BSS 6. Just please let me change the slide. So this is regarding the Bangladesh Secretarial Standard 6, that is on resolution by circulation, which is also be governed by Nural sir. So that's why I will not give it very short about the thing. Why this standard is required? Actually, to have a synchronization among the harmonized, standardized, different sorts of rules and regulation prevailing in the market. And what is actually the resolution by circulation? If for any reason there is a circumstance that board meeting could not be held right at that moment, but any decision should be taken from the board. That's why resolution is by circulation should be circulated to take the decision of the board. And obviously that has to have a minimum signature quorum, which is called signature quorum. That means now how many number of signature is required of the directors to pass a resolution. And similar to the board meeting, there is also option for any providing note of dissent or dissenting member, and there is also have a provision for interested director. The person which is related with any agenda, he has to be absent from the giving any signature on the resolution by circulation. Before sending any resolution by circulation, only the chairman can decide which agenda can be served as a resolution by circulation. In case of absence of a chairman, any director can also propose to have a resolution by circulation, but it has to be at least 1/3, minimum 1/3 director should give a consent about the decision taking a resolution by circulation. An interested director, I have already mentioned, the signature quorum, that means the minimum number of signature required to actually, we have already know that majority person, that means more than 50% signature should be taken to have a resolution through circulation. And in this standard, there is 5 steps. One is authority, another is procedure, another is approval, recording, and validity. Standard 1 regarding authority. I have already mentioned that chairman has the firstly authority to take decision about the issuing resolution by circulation. Another, then if in case of due to any unavoidable circumstance, then director can take in absence of chairman. And resolution should be drafted, and there should have also some proper supporting document to have a resolution by circulation. and it has to be circulated all directors simultaneously in the country, within the country, or abroad as well. Approval. The resolution shall be approved if the signature required signature has been put in the resolution by circulation. And in the resolution by circulation, the resolution has to be written in bold. And director should signify their assent or dissent in signifying resolution. If any director does not want or is against the motion of the resolution, he can also give the dissent. Recording and validity. The resolution by circulation is an interim solution, so it has to be intimated in the immediate next board meeting, and this has to be recorded and adopted as a regular business. And resolution passed by sir should be noted in the next meeting, and it obviously dispense the requirement of the board to meet in a specific frequency. This standard was effective from December 5th, 2020. However, it's yet to be approved by Bangladesh Chief Justice Commission. There are some restrictions. Some resolution should not be taken through resolution by circulation, which is especially in a material nature. It's a very interim and very short solution, and the decision which requires more discussion, more elaboration, and more interpretation is required, this sorts of thing, and the material thing should be avoided. For example, to take a borrowing from the institution, buyback of its own security, investment in other companies, to commence a new venture, to fill up the casual vacancy of a board, appoint or removal of any senior management as per CC code, to appoint internal auditor, cost auditor, and secretarial auditor, and to also to make any price sensitive information of any other public limited company, related party transaction, to approve IPO prospectus. This sorts of decision should not be taken through resolution by circulation. International practice. In case of India's Companies Act under Section 175, they have also similar provision in resolution by circulation, but in our cases, these are quite silent. Actually, as per our articles of association, we covered the resolution by circulations. So this part I have already mentioned in earlier chapters. So here I would like to conclude my presentation. Thank you very much for your patient hearing and for kind presence. Thank you.